GETTY Rafa Benitez is determined to strengthen his squad in January. I'm not being horrible, but, including wages, it's going to cost a fortune to get the club competing in the Premier League. I knew they would struggle this season. They haven't got the quality. They have too many championship players who are not good enough for this level. But I didn't expect it to be this bad. I like Jamal Lascelles, John Joe Shelvey and Matt Ritchie. They are all good players. But I don't see too many others after that who can keep Newcastle up. They need to be buying £30 million players in January and offering them big wages, because right now it isn't a very attractive place to go. Newcastle have taken 1 point from 24 and now they have to go to Arsenal, a West Ham team who have picked up under David Moyes, and then they play Manchester City. Good luck. These investors who want to buy the club must be worried about them going down. How could you not be? It's a right mess. Do you really want to spend all that money on a team who could go down? Or would you sit tight and wait to see what happens? Sam the supercomputer has predicted the 9 Premier League results this weekend. GETTY Leicester 10 Crystal Palace. They say the deal includes a clause where Mike Ashley will get his money back if he buys some players in January. But that agreement better be rock solid, otherwise if you were Ashley you would walk away from it. It's like saying, I want to buy your house but you'll have to do a loft conversion and fit a new kitchen before I pay up. I think all this takeover talk has really hurt Newcastle. The players have lost the focus. They seem to think they'll suddenly be flying up the league once it goes through. But they should be playing for the futures, busting a gut for the club. I'm not seeing that at the moment. If you can't raise your game playing in front of 50,000 jaws, when can you? Bournemouth, who get about 12,000 through the gate, have already beaten them at St James Park this season, in front of 52,000. But how many Newcastle players would get in the Bournemouth team? How does that work? They need to stop penny pinching. GETTY It could take £200 million to fix Newcastle according to Paul Merson. At the same time, though, it's too easy to blame Mike Ashley. Rafa gets an easy ride because it's everybody else's fault. Well, I thought he would stop the rot because he's a good manager. But he's making some strange decisions. Where is Alexander Mitrovic? He wasn't even on the bench against Everton and they need him in the team, in my opinion. Dwight Gale is lively, quick and sharp, and Joe Salu is the same. But they need someone who's going to put himself about and do the dirty work. I think he has to play. He gives them something different. I don't know what's gone on there, but Rafa needs to swallow his pride and put him back in the team. Ruthless, okay, maybe he can't always be trusted, but it's time to take a chance. It's going horribly wrong at the moment. We've seen a million slides like this and they don't often end well. The Premier League is ruthless. Look at the teams around them. There aren't too many others on a run like this. Crystal Palace have turned things around. So have West Ham. Newcastle need to do the same quickly because they are in free fall at the moment and you can't see where their next win is coming from. GETTY Jurgen Klopp chose to rest key players against Everton. Jurgen Klopp lost the plot against Everton because he knew it was his fault they didn't win the game. Why in your wildest dreams would you pick the team in the Merseyside derby and leave key players out? You're playing West Brom at home on Wednesday. Don't worry about that game. Worry about the Everton one. He put himself under severe pressure and that's why he lost the plot. If he'd picked the right team, his post-match interview would have been completely different. He was right to be angry. It was never a penalty in a month of Sundays, in my opinion. There's contact but you can't go over like that. But I think Klopp was trying to be clever. He was ranting and raving so no one would talk about the team he picked. Brighton and Moscow were training sessions for Liverpool. Why did he need to rest players? He didn't. Now they've just lost 4 points and that could be costly. Manchester City need to remember that you're only the best team ever when you win something. Arsenal went unbeaten for a whole season and they played some phenomenal football in that run. There have been Manchester United teams just as good. What City did to United was embarrassing. It was cringeworthy for United. It was one of the biggest clubs in the world sitting back and hoping they didn't get thrashed at home against the little neighbors from next door. Wow, I didn't think Jose Mourinho would park the bus because he had to win to stay in the title race. But he knows United can't win the title. He gave up and tried not to get beaten. Getty Man City have surged 11 points clear at the top of the Premier League. The fact he's been very quiet about City the last few weeks tells you everything. Then he had to try and use Tunnel Gate to deflect attention from how far behind United are. It's done. City will win the title. They could go on a run almost as bad as Newcastle's and probably still win it. But it's much too early to start calling them the best ever. They need to make sure they actually get over the line first, and who knows how many games they might lose by then. Related articles.